Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Java. I'm CT. He is Dodd.
I am.
We are live, in your face, on your screens, on your radio. Dodd's taking off. Must be the FBI calling. Probably sold a gun. Yay! For that matter, thanks to everybody for joining us. And big thank you to our sponsors, those that make this show happen. Safe Harbor Insurance, 636-578-7426. Go see Dave and Holly today. Give them a call. Well, not today because they're not in the office, but hey, Monday, give them a call. World League Wrestling, the house that Harley Race built, had a great event Saturday or so ago, and it was fantastic. Original Crow Feather Crystal Healing Jewelry, thank you for being a part of this show. Blue Line Lawn Care and Landscaping. Get your free quote, 636-262-9486. Blue Line Lawn Care and Landscaping. And last but not least, since the phone call came in, I know exactly what that was. I'm pretty sure I do. Black Flag Outfitters, always a part of this show. And all of our content here on the Traveling East Productions Network. Thank you to headbangersradio.com for re-airing our shows later on in the week for their listeners, as well as live on KYRO 1280 AM, 105.3 FM, a brand new partnership from them that we've enjoyed for the last several weeks now. It's been nice, eh?
It's been pretty much fun.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, you and John and I, and Lee for that matter, go back a long ways. You and John and I go back a very long ways in the radio business, as well as, you and him in the fire protection business. Yeah, it is kind of a business now. But yeah, it's always great to get back in with the radio crowd over there.
It's definitely been pretty much fun. I've had a blast.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home, drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do because your dollar ain't crap, and it's taxed to no end because of rich men north of Richmond.
This poetic reading brought to you by C.T. Harrison.
You heard that song?
Yeah.
It came across again yesterday, and it's just it's a song called Rich Men North of Richmond by a guy by the name of Oliver Anthony. It's produced by Radio West Virginia, and of course he's talking about Washington D.C. Great song, go find it. Oliver Anthony. I watched a lot of reaction videos to it last night because I just thought I wanted to see how people reacted, and it's a good tune. Real good song. But it's very true. How was your week?
It was a really fun week. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that look.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well, no, you were. I never know. Sometimes you're like you'll say something and it's like a lead-in, and then you'll get this look on your face because you're about ready to say.
No, here's
something.
what I can say: people are definitely broke enough that they're broke.
Yeah,
they are broke. I spent another week buying massive amounts of guns from people.
Oh, taking in some
because nobody has any money. That's the truth of what it is. This isn't, hey, I want to, in my business, you buy a lot of guns because people are like, I've got these 5 guns and I'd like to get, a new deer rifle and a stand and da-da-da. This was a lot of, I need extra cash.
But that doesn't make any sense, Dodd, because didn't Kamala say that the economy is the best it's ever been and it's great and everything?
Yeah.
But she's going to fix it on day one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, boy, it's really great. I spent a lot of time with that. And the interesting thing about having a place like my business is you end up talking to a lot of people throughout the week. And you can really get a feel of what things are because people just come in and talk a lot. And the current trend is, man, I'm broke.
Man, I'm broke. Yeah.
That is the trend. And it's not even the people, there's always that one guy you work with who's always broke because he just makes crap life choices all the time.
Yes.
It wasn't even like it was that guy. These were people who have bought from me for years and years. Right. Who are really hitting it pretty hard. I get a lot of retirees that buy from me.
Yeah.
Big time. They aren't touching anything. Nothing. They still come in and look, but they're like, because a lot of times those older guys that buy stuff all the time, if they see something I can tell they're really interested in, I'm like, do you need me to adjust that price a little for you? Normally they'll jump right on it. You take $50 off, something like that. They're like, yeah, I'll take it. They're like, no, it doesn't really matter what you reduce the price to. I don't have the money.
Well, the sad part about that is when you talk about the retirees and these guys have been coming in for quite a while, those are the people that are on fixed incomes too. So nothing changes for them.
Nope.
Because they don't get a raise.
No.
But yet,
but the
housing costs have gone up, tripled. Gas prices, groceries, everything's tripled. But the economy's great. I don't get it.
And the thing that I was talking to somebody else about this week. They're on a fixed income. Well, realistically, everyone is on a fixed income.
Well, yes.
But here's why. And a lot of people don't follow this. If everybody gets a pay increase, all the prices go up. And the inflation just continues. Heavier and heavier. The more money you make, the more expensive the cost of goods become.
Yes.
So, reasonably, your problem isn't that. Your problem is you just dumped 50 million illegals into the country. And you have
part of it, yeah.
So that takes care of your housing problem. Because why has rent become so expensive? A lot of people are talking about this. They're like, well, I don't understand why rent's gone up so much. Pretty simple, because I can subsidize and get a subsidy and rent out my house for $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Guaranteed money from the U.S. government.
Well, that's why I've spoken out against, what's this place over here that does the housing? NECAC. They're the one, because the person renting the house maybe pays $200 or $300, and NECAC pays the rest of that $1,500.
Correct. And with the thing, you got to, what's happening is you've got this whole group of people who have unlimited income, essentially brought to you by the U.S. taxpayer.
Correct.
So they can afford to pay $1,800 a month to rent a one-bedroom house. Well, I'm going to be honest. If I own the one-bedroom house, I'm absolutely going to rent it to you for $1,800 a month.
Well, you got that, and then you've also got Kamala Harris, who's sitting here wanting to give $25,000 to first-time home buyers, immigrants, $25,000 to immigrants on their first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
Except here's the thing. Guess where that money's coming from? Your pocket, my pocket, our pockets.
Well, and what you also have right now that's really...
The Democrats are gonna say, oh, that's the greatest thing ever. Go ahead and do that. Help them out.
Well, you've got the $25,000 down payment going around, but hold up. There's something that's been going on for almost 24 months now that nobody's really talking about. They already have a 0% down loan program. You know the difference between 0% down and a $25,000 payment? Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing, because it's subsidized.
Correct.
And you're, as a consumer, paying for that.
Well, that's why Obamacare was set up the way that it was, because it was a learned behavior.
Yep.
Subsidies that are passed on to the taxpayer, to the person who's actually paying the bills. That's why my insurance jumped 3 times the price with Obamacare, so that I could pay for all that other people's stuff.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what that, it was subsidy, and they actually used the term subsidies. It's for subsidized.
That is correct.
Well, don't you want to help everybody out? No, not
No,
really.
not really.
No, I really don't. I'm not a flower child, man.
No. I think it's interesting. I think I was on the afternoon drive show with Sarge and Burgundy the other day, and I was sitting on there with them, and we were talking just a little bit. We kind of got into that 2007, 2008 mortgage collapse.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, so there were a lot of regulations put into place after that. Things like the Dodd-Frank Act and those kind of things. Because the Dodd-Frank Act was a pretty big bill. It was a terrible bill. But all they did is, even though publicly Congress is like, you're doing this, the FDIC and the National Federal Reserve, who actually dictates how banks can run, said, okay, you can't do that anymore, but now you have to do this. And the you have to do this was essentially the same things that the Dodd-Frank Act said you can't do. But because they had told them they had to do it, now they had to do it. So when everybody's like, I don't understand why real estate prices are high, why rent's high, why inflation's up, because the market has already broke. You are just continuing in the cycle of believing that there's a hopping market. There's not. The market crashed forever ago. You just haven't caught up to it yet. Because it's very much a PR game. Watch ads. Now's the time to buy, blah, blah, blah. Boy, right now you can get a great deal, blah, blah, blah. But we all know that that's fake. Interest rates are super high, et cetera, et cetera. Why are you pushing so hard that now's the best time? Because most of these companies are about to collapse again.
I have many friends that are upside down on their house loans now because everything's jacked so high.
Mm-hmm.
An $80,000 house is now $300,000.
Yes. Yes, it is.
The average home, okay? The average home cost, average. Now we're talking middle class. Average home cost, $250,000, $300,000.
Correct.
That's just average. That's insane. It used to be like $70,000, $80,000.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little wild. But hey, it's the best economy ever.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
And that's
but it's going to get fixed on day one.
Yeah, and that's what. So what does it mean if it's already the best? How are you going to fix it?
I don't understand that. That's why we talked about that debate.
Yeah,
and we talked about how she sat there and was like, "This needs to be done, and that needs to be done. We're going to do this, and we're going to do that." Well, you've been there for 3.5 years already. You've said it's the best economy, but yet you got to fix it. And you've said that this, but yet you've got to do that. It's and it was on several subjects, not just that, but she just, and they fall for it, and they fall for it. I was listening to a breakdown of the news on the way here, and it was from different. It goes through about maybe 7 minutes from each each news outlet gives like a 7-minute political news breakdown.
Yeah.
And the conservatives were just cracking me up, including those idiots that are on Thursday evenings over there at the radio station.
Ugh.
All they did was cackle about eating cats and dogs. Like, that's what they're focused on.
Oh, because they're still trying to say it's not true?
Yeah.
Idiots.
Now, not just that, but I sit there and I listen to the show, and they're going, okay, well, the difference in the debate was he made no political points on any policies, and she did. Now, wait a minute. Were we watching the same debate? because all she did was deflect. All she did, she never gave a single example of a policy, a single example of how she was going to do anything.
No.
You know, when asked about the economy or this or that, all she could talk about was people's lawns.
Yeah, that was weird.
Now, that was in the debate. That was in her little town hall thing or whatever. But people buy into this. How are you buying into this crap? I don't understand it. The only thing that Donald Trump did wrong in that debate, the only thing he did was he let her get to him, and he did lose his temper. That's the only thing he did wrong. That's it.
Yep.
And he kind of started, he was so angry that he started rambling a bit. But he didn't sit there and tell 24 to 30 lies during that whole thing. One of them, which I found to be the funniest this week, and I know you saw these videos too. Remember, we discussed, and I believe it had to have been on Wednesday evening on Not Politically Correct. We talked about how she said that not one single serviceman of active duty was in a war zone right now.
Yep.
And then you have all these service videos of these guys in war zones sitting there going, well, where the hell are we at then? Really, woman?
Where are we? Oh, what's going on? What are those things that keep getting fired at the?
What's that noise? Boom, boom. What?
What's that going after the Yemen, or that it's going after the Houthis? What are they doing?
Yeah. What are we doing here in Somalia? Was that a drone we just shot down?
No, weird.
Is that a? Oh, but we're not in an active war zone.
No.
Oh, you know why? Because we haven't actively declared war.
Yeah.
See, we're still the biggest falsehood that I've heard, and you might disagree, and if you do, that's fine, whatever. I hate the term police action.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I don't. You're either in a war or you're not. Period. No such thing as a police action. They did that Korea. They did that Vietnam crap. Oh no, it's a police action. Really? It's a war. Men are dying. It's a war.
Declare it so you can take it. Take it.
And that's
Colonize
exactly what. Now, see, you just hit the nail on the head. If they declare war, actually make a declaration, it's a whole different political point. It's a whole different political situation. So they don't do that. They call it a police action, so it doesn't put them in that category to where they have to do this instead of this.
It's what you really need to do. Look, you want to engage in conflicts all over the world. I'm fine with it. I think it's a great idea. It builds industry. Go for it. But you need to go ahead and declare it.
Yeah.
And then you need to say, the reason we are currently going to war with blah, blah, blah is because they hold 160 trillion barrels of oil under their soil.
Correct.
We intend to take this nation.
Be blunt about it.
Do you actually want the American people to support?
I'm okay with that.
You want the American people to support your conflict? They will.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah.
We are going to conquer this nation, declare it a sovereign territory, and take its natural resources. The American people would actually get behind you. There'd be a bunch of bleeding heart liberals who are like, oh, you can't do that. Everybody else is like, ha ha. Shouldn't have been doing cave drawings. You should have been preparing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, during that debate, Harris several people have made this comment. And it really just ticks me off every time they make it. They talk about, the most powerful military the world has ever known.
Ugh.
Well, you've obviously never read a history book. Unfortunately, my dear friends, the U.S. military is not the most powerful military ever known to man.
By comparison, you are correct.
By comparison, you have many empires that really were far superior.
I think even at one time, the Turks were even better at one time.
I mean, when they had the entire Ottoman Empire and that entire section was under their... Yes.
Hell, the Roman Empire, when it was taking over the world.
Without a doubt.
Taking over the known world. They marched into Egypt. They marched into South Africa. They marched in everywhere.
And remember,
Europe.
the Roman Empire didn't conquer everybody.
No.
Because once they became the top dog, there were a lot of countries that were just like, yeah, don't fight us, but you're welcome to come here and do business with us.
Look at
That's
what
fine.
they did to the Middle East.
Uh-huh. Look at Egypt.
Yeah.
I mean, Egypt's kind of the big... Yeah.
Well, you had a Roman general sitting on a throne in Egypt.
That's right.
I mean...
Yeah.
So by comparison, no, the United States is not
No.
the greatest army known to man. Sorry.
Nope.
That is an incorrect statement.
History says no. It's that
I
phrase,
mean, okay.
the greatest military force the world has ever known. Yeah, not really.
I mean, you can even argue at one point in time, the Huns.
I mean, they took a pretty huge portion of the world.
Chunk. Huge chunk.
No question about it.
I mean, I could go down a list probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's just one of those slight things. I'm like, read a history book.
See, the only reason they consider it that way because they only look at it from the perspective of weaponry. That's all they look at it by. Oh, we've got, these choppers, and we've got these drones, we've got these missiles, we've got this nuclear
Yes,
weapon.
and as far as that goes currently, in the current time period, you are correct.
But if you look at it from the aspect of military might, then no.
No.
So.
Yes.
Oh. We kind of went off on a little tangent, which is fine.
It happens.
That's what I like about this show is we can go and do what we wish.
Zelensky apparently threw a temper tantrum.
Yes. Is it you talking about the long range strikes?
Yep, he's mad because the U.S. and the U.K. are like, you do not do that.
Well, Putin is basically saying, I think I read it back several articles. I think I read it like yesterday or something. Putin was like, well, if you do that, if NATO says this is okay, then that's a declaration of war.
Yes.
And game on.
Yeah. Russia doesn't have any problem fighting proxies. They don't mind. They understand. No. They do it. They fund. And then two nations proxy fight each other. But when you actually authorize it, Putin's like, no, you ain't doing that.
And here's a little situation that happens right here because let's look at the election. Okay. You have the left supporting the Ukraine.
Yep.
And I have no doubt that they would authorize and say, yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
And then you have the possibility of Trump returning to office, who will shut down aid to the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And go, nope, we're not striking Russia.
Nope.
So who do you think Putin is really rooting for? If you honestly believe that his comment about Kamala was sincere and not him being in jest, then you're sadly mistaken. What he did, talking about her the way he did, was absolute. That was him being sarcastic.
Yes.
That was his attempt at humor. This is a guy who's stood a foot or two away from I think it was Reagan, right?
Uh-huh.
And nobody knew it at the time as an agent of the KGB.
Yep.
And this is a guy who has no sense of humor. So his attempt at it was pretty funny to me. I got it. I got it right off.
As soon as
others didn't. They were going, "Oh, he's for Kamala."
No,
he's
when
not.
he talked about her contagious laugh, I'm like, no.
That was making fun of her.
Yes, it was. Apparently, Kamala accidentally said the quiet part out loud. She feels, according to her own statement, that government oversight is needed to police the internet and rein in thought crimes.
I was going to get into that too, because you know what that reminds me of?
1984.
Well, yeah, that's one of them. And two, the song about the thought police from Cheap Trick. Live at Budokan. I remember that.
Yeah.
And, yeah. This all-out... Now, this is an all-out war on the First Amendment.
Oh, without a doubt.
100%. And it's stretching across to X and all these others. She honestly believes that the government should be controlling what you see and hear. You don't need to make your own decisions, that the government is the one that needs to tell you what to think and what to believe. That's honestly what she believes. And yet, you call Trump a fascist.
That's weird.
So excuse me if I can't take you seriously, because that's the most asinine thing I've ever seen.
It makes no sense whatsoever. You know, you had an interesting one just 4 days ago. And this one, since we just did a First Amendment, here you go.
Okay.
If you remember 4 days ago, Kamala and Walsh both said, hey, listen, we're not trying to take away any guns or anything like that, blah, blah, blah. However, 4 days later, yesterday, Kamala went down an entire list of all the things that she immediately wants to ban.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I don't think she actually has a solid opinion on anything or tells the truth in any way.
Oh, she has solid opinions. She's just not telling you the truth on them.
Yeah.
She has a solid belief system. And her belief system consists of just telling you what you want to hear at the time, so that she can say, well, just watch the left hand. That way you don't see what the right hand's doing. Or in this case, watch the right hand so you don't see what the left hand is doing. You see what I did there? There's also, did you see the video of the Ben Bergquam?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so he's on near the border walls.
Yeah.
What is up? And he was showing cartel trails, that there were water stations that were set up by the Democrats, by this administration, to assist illegals in crossing the border. They set up water stations for them.
Well, that would fall under the aiding of enemy combatants.
Correct. Because here's the thing. Now, what that does is that exposes that the left is actually working with the cartels.
Yes,
the cartels are actually acting as the coyotes. Okay, and for those of you who don't know what a coyote is, those are the people that get paid to get you across the border. They call them coyotes. So the cartel is now acting as the coyote, working with the aid of the Biden administration, those on the left.
Not good. Seems like a real problem, doesn't it?
It has been for a long time, but nobody wants to see it. We see it.
Aid and harboring in an active invasion. Sounds like seditious actions.
It is, but here's the thing. It's not categorized as an active invasion. So therefore, it's not aiding. Because it has not been, do you see it's that legal crap. It's just like the difference between a police action and a war. Unless it's declared, it doesn't happen. So it's not declared an invasion. So therefore, it's not. Even though you have places like, I believe it was, and I'm going to have to go down, Pennsylvania, I believe, that actively, let me find it here. because I saw this earlier. Yes, Pennsylvania Supreme Court rules improperly dated mail-in ballots won't be counted.
That was a big win.
It's a big win, but that goes along with this. The reason for that is to cut down on illegals voting, cut down on these false mail-in ballots coming in. We saw that in the last election.
Yep.
They keep saying, "Oh, it didn't happen." That's untrue. We proved it.
It was proven
There's
multiple
videotape
times
of it. There's video of UPS or not UPS. I'm sorry, U.S. Postal Service people dumping boxes of ballots for Trump in dumpsters. There is video of trucks backing up to polling places and unloading. You and I went through this in 2020 on election night.
Yep. And we had reports of boxes of ballots being dumped in the desert outside of Las Vegas.
Yes.
The day after the election.
Yes.
The day after. One day after.
Supposedly a flooding, balloting stopped, and then all of a sudden 150,000 votes came in. How does that happen?
Weird.
3:00 in the morning, I think we finally cut off the stream that night and was like, I can't do this. Can't do this. And then stood in my driveway till 4:30, 5 o'clock, just kind of scratching our heads, drinking, lemon freaking tea monsters going, what?
What just happened?
Yeah. Thanks,
Weird.
Trax, for feeding us that night, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And every night we have election.
That was so weird.
Insane.
Mm.
Did you see I mean, there's a few things to really talk about. Waiting for this timer to come up so they get done and get these people back on air to talk about this one because I find this one good. Fannie Willis. That was one of the other ones I saw too.
Yeah.
So again, she keeps dodging the subpoenas, right?
Oh, she does.
She skips the Georgia State Senate hearing.
Yep.
On her alleged misconduct during the RICO case, or related to the RICO case, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So she skipped the Senate hearing, defying the subpoena. Was actually subpoenaed. Now, did they ever get a chance to actually give her to serve her the subpoena?
I believe she was served.
Was she?
I'm pretty sure we covered that on Not Politically Correct.
I can't remember if if they actually finally got her because she was at home and she wasn't answering. The last I saw on it, but yeah, this should be great to watch. I'm going to watch that one unfold, and it's fabulous. But welcome back to KYRO. They've only got a few more minutes, I believe it. Here in about 4.5 minutes, they're going to football.
Cool.
So if you want to continue with this program, I suggest going to following us on rumble.com. Go to Traveling East Productions on Rumble, where we're live there in video format, as well as YouTube on our Traveling East Productions page. We're live there, as well as our Traveling East Productions Facebook page. So whichever one is best for you, go. Now, right now, go. Okay. So that being said, Boeing's on strike.
Why?
Because apparently they can't come to terms on an agreement. Again, it's the union wanting more money. I'm sure of it. It's not actually declared. I didn't see what it actually was, but it's that they're but it's hurting Boeing in because of two different things. Number one, the door to the jet that blew off in midair was one thing, and that dropped their stuff to that dropped their stock 2.3%. And then the strike is going to basically it says that the pay was the top issue in the talks. Boeing actually offered the workers a 25% pay hike over 4 years. The workers wanted 40%.
Fire everybody.
Fire everybody. So, 30,000 members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers are now staffing to picket lines. And 96% of those voting on the contract voted for the strike. It's going to cost... It will add... Here's the bad part. For Boeing, anyways. It's being reported that if the workers strike for very long, the company would add to its already roughly $60 billion debt.
So I'm assuming the workers don't understand how money works because they're obviously idiots.
Yeah. So you're going on strike to work in a place that's already in debt by causing them to go in any more debt.
Right.
Hey, guess what? Shut down Boeing. Screw them. Sell the contracts to somebody else.
Wow.
And be done with it. Bye, Boeing. See you. Bye. Unions, you just destroyed more jobs. Great job. You're awesome.
You guys are absolute morons most of the time. Like, seriously.
Or just go ahead and take Boeing to Mexico, I guess. And be done with the union.
Dude, you're I mean,
so
why would you continue as an American company if this is the crap you have to put up with?
That's the third. Then you add 30,000 people out of jobs. Yay! All right.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty bad.
They wanted a 40%. They were offered 25. Take it and shut up. Quit whining.
I mean, you're already making pretty good money. So, what's the problem? Live inside your means. Just thought.
Well.
Those
of you over at KYRO, thanks for joining us over there, listening to us on the radio over there. Hope you have a good day. Enjoy your football. If you want to finish out the show, join us over on Facebook at Traveling East Productions, Rumble, Traveling East Productions, YouTube, Traveling East Productions, and the show will continue for a while longer. But hey, nonetheless, thanks for joining us over there.
Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day to you. Stay awake, not woke, and we'll see you next Saturday.
We will.
And they are gone. And they will be going to play football, I guess. And that's fine.
But Mama football the devil.
Mama football the devil. Mama said football is the devil.
Not wrong.
You know what? To those that enjoy football, good for you. It's not for me. Don't care.
Couldn't care.
Again, you know what it is? It's part of that whole union thing too. Is the reason I stopped watching football a long time ago. I got tired of them striking and everything because they weren't making enough money to pay their 10 baby mamas and their Maserati insurance and getting paid millions of dollars to play a sport. Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather go to a high school game than your crap. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a solid pass for me.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Thanks. I don't need circus.
No.
Think so.
And I definitely don't want to go to your games. I don't want to spend all that money on a ticket and $10 a hot dog and $10 a beer and $50 for a freaking T-shirt and so on and so forth, just so the owners can make money and be millionaires and then ask the taxpayers to pay to build a stadium.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what? Kansas City? What? Kansas City? Okay.
Yes.
But anyhow, all right. So back to stuff and such.
Back to real stuff, not circus.
Yeah.
This is the stuff you're supposed to know about, but this is why you have football, so you don't know about this stuff.
Yeah.
So you can self-identify as a member of a team that you can't walk more than 10 feet without getting winded.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever.
And let them tell you how to live your lives, even though they know nothing of your life.
Valid.
Hey.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, so... Oh, what else we got going on?
Oh, looks like old John Legend got ripped apart.
I saw that too.
What a dumbass.
Uh,
So, all right. We're going down it. Here it is. The stories about the Haitians eating cats and dogs is true. There is police body cam footage that you can go watch. Now, you can argue anything else you want, but the body cam footage is pretty solid, and you can tell these cops are not happy with what's going on there. Now, here's the other side. Haiti is a dark, nasty place, for the most part. They have a hardcore religion called Creole Voodoo. It's a real deal thing. And one of the things required for most of their things is the sacrifice of cat blood.
well,
It's why they keep finding cats with their claws gone, like their whole paw is gone.
Yep. Bled out.
So here's the deal. You brought in a bunch of shit bums to the U.S. from a shithole country, and now you're surprised when they're doing shit stuff.
There's that.
Send their asses back to where they came from. They're like, oh, but Haiti's a war zone. Then maybe they can sacrifice something and not die. Whatever.
If their voodoo's so great, why aren't they voodooing against that?
Right, why aren't they using it?
Yeah.
Do the other guys have more powerful voodoo?
Yeah, apparently.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's called gunpowder.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You could spend 10 minutes on TikTok or X.
There's a video of them catching a lady,
Uh-huh.
a cat.
Yeah. And she's just eating the cat raw.
There's pictures of cats hanging from a tree being sanguinated,
Yeah.
being drained. There's just...
Yeah. So here's the deal. These people are animals. Move them out. Just because Harris granted them, you can be here.
No. You can't move them out because they're potential voters.
Well, that's also true. That's why they just lost their mind, because a bunch of voting information has now been found being handed out in French Creole, which is what is spoken in Haiti. That's weird. Please tell me how these non-refugee terrorists are getting the ability to vote. Non-refugee terrorists. Did you hear me? That's what they are. Get them out. You can load them and the Somalians up together and send them all back. Or don't send them back. I don't care where you send them. Just not here. Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious. Don Lemon was slammed,
Ooh.
and I'm
probably
okay with
liked
that. Mocking Melania Trump,
Oh.
basically, is all it was.
Mm.
Did you see the article on Moderna?
Oh no, what are those bastards up to?
Well, no, it's them scaling back.
Oh, that
Because the shot thing is going down as far as they're not making any money anymore off of it. So people aren't getting it.
Nobody's buying their killer drug anymore?
Yeah.
That's weird.
The other one that I saw that I found quite funny was that the independents in Minnesota are breaking for Trump.
Well,
Against Walz. I found that to be interesting and funny.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
And there is a town in Pennsylvania that apparently, I'm guessing one of the Civil War era orphanages
Yes.
might be being used to house immigrants, foreign entities.
Well, the union would be proud.
Oh. I mean, the North, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, damn Yankees.
Basically. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. Did you see where they were? I don't remember I think it's California. Might be San Bernardino somewhere. Anyway, they determined that they could move all the students from a brand new high school, cram them into the old high school that they were going to renovate, and put all the illegals in the brand new high school instead of the empty high
Old
school
one.
they already
Yeah.
had. That's pretty funny. I'm
No, it's
sure
funny.
the taxpayers were thrilled when they found out that the property taxes got increased and they voted for it.
So
Yeah.
it's funny you bring up California
Oh, yeah.
because another thing that was just announced, because Governor Newsom's such an awesome individual, is that now California's talking about giving out free cell phones to immigrants
I heard this.
along with the housing and everything else. Hey, and guess what? Californians, that is taxpayer funded. When is California going to realize? I mean, I know it's a state just chocked full, except for that northern part, chocked full of bleeding heart liberals crying because they can't afford the $5 a gallon gasoline and, $6 a gallon of milk and so on and so forth and such, that it costs so much over there.
Yeah.
But yet, this is why.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Your liberal policies and actions such as this are why California is a shithole.
Without a doubt.
I have family in California. Guess what? Move the hell out, because guess what? One of these days, that thing's either going to fall into the ocean or we're going to brick it up and we're going to give it back to Mexico. And then you can go be the socialist freaking nation that you tend to want to be. And if you stay there and don't get out, that's on you. Not my problem. You were warned.
Mm.
When was the last time you went to California?
Probably 2014.
What a crap hole. California is crap.
Okay, you're going to laugh at me. Do you know where I went?
San Diego.
Death Valley.
Okay.
And I crossed in from Nevada.
Okay.
That was it.
Like
I was in Vegas, and I had never been to Death Valley. And, that's like a 3.5 hour drive. And I'm like, I can make it there. I went to Death Valley. I went to that cool post office they have, Death Valley.
Yeah.
And I got the U.S. Geological marker.
Did you go to Needles?
Nope. I just made my way to Death Valley. I hung out there. It was hotter than freaking balls.
Yeah.
I had a sandwich, that little sandwich shop that's there. I took some pictures. I walked around in the flats, and then I got the hell out of there. I was like, that's it. See ya.
And you know what sucks is that part of California I like, and Northern California I like.
Mm-hmm.
But anything San Francisco and below can just go away.
Here's my take on San Francisco. If San Francisco had no people in it, that would be a beautiful place. Like, there's no people, there's no city. It's just that beach with the cold water. It would be a beautiful place. I see why when people finally made their way to California, why it was appealing when they crossed the plains, etc., because it was so different than even being in England or anywhere like that. It was beautiful. Now, they totally destroyed it, but it was there. I like the California coast. I don't ever want to be anywhere near it because of just all the people and crap. But if you took all the people and crap away, it's pretty. Yeah.
See, I'm an Eastern Coast guy.
I
like the eastern coast better than I do the western coast. Except for Northern California and up. Now, that is a beautiful coastline.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous coastline in northern East Coast, too. I guess it's the southern coasts I don't really like all that much. But the northern coast with the cliffs and the just beautiful looking out over is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. My goal someday, I would love to travel the East Coast and stop in like the old fishing towns.
Yeah.
And hang out. I just think that would just be so fun. And maybe it's just nostalgia for me, but I think it's just beautiful.
Man, I'll tell
have
you.
some really good lobster. Have some really good crab. Have some, you know what I'm saying? That good stuff up northern, cold water, just good stuff. Oh. That northern nothing beats that northern lobster. Sorry. It is what it is.
See, I actually really like the rock lobster.
Do you?
The warm water, the tan colored gray lobster. That's my favorite. The red is not my.
See, I like the crab down below.
Yeah.
But I like the lobster north. It's weird, right?
Yeah, that's weird. But hey, whatever.
Because we used to catch crab down Gulf Shores way and down in Florida, and then just boil them right on the spot, man.
Yeah.
Just drop them in. Take them straight over to the pot and dump them in. Oh, so good.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I used to take, my buddy George lived in Pensacola. You remember those crab traps that they were like a basket and you put them on the bottom and then the crab, you pull them up? And we would sit on the dock with a chunk of chicken liver in the middle of that and just wait for the crabs to hop in there and then try to jerk it out of the water before they all jumped off. That was fun.
If only we would have had smoking butts rubs back then.
Oh!
Can you imagine that crab with bold on it? Or holy jalapeno?
Ooh.
Okay. Now, let's get back to news because now I'm getting hungry. And I'm going to AJ's today, too. Tex-Mex.
Nice.
Okay. So remember during the debate when
Sadly.
Kamala said she wasn't going to take anybody's guns away? And remember a few weeks before that, she was going to take your guns away.
Yeah.
Mandatory buyback program, the whole bit.
Yep.
Then during debate, she wasn't going to.
Yeah.
Well, she's back to pushing the assault weapons ban.
Yeah.
3 days after the freaking debate.
Yeah.
But that's not hypocrisy to the left. Well, she never said that. Okay, but she did.
But she did. Like, we have her saying it.
And cackling. Did you watch any of the Vegas rally?
No, I actually didn't.
Rick Harrison was on it from Pawn Stars. He was there. It was a good rally. Yeah.
I'm assuming he was a Trump fan.
Yes. There's the Moderna one I was talking about. So basically, they're scaling back the vaccine because the shot revenue is collapsing. They're not making money on the shots anymore. So they played that out. So I guess Moderna and Pfizer, that would probably, and I'm sure Pfizer's the same way. There's nothing on it, but I'm sure if it's happened to Moderna, it's happening to Pfizer as well. Because they're the two leading.
Wow. Imagine that.
That being said,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on my little earbuds here because I just looked in the screen and realized what time it was. And I see a bright, shiny face sitting there waiting to talk to us.
Not a bright, shining face.
Yeah. Well, not that bright and shiny. I mean, it is Canadian, but it's yeah. Anyways, morning, Phil.
Morning, how are you all doing?
Fantastic.
By the way, your earbuds aren't the earring ones, are they?
No, they're not the earrings.
Been an interesting week this week.
Okay.
Was it apparently there are alleged rumors going on that there's a convoy heading to Parliament Hill for Monday when Parliament opens up there. Apparently, people are, protesting that, Justin Trudeau should step down and, because of all the allegations that are going on, with was it the foreign interference and everything else, and all the immigrants that are coming into Canada. And also what's happening is now a lot of Trudeau's own members of caucus are starting to speak out and questioning, all his actions as premier. So they're starting to get a set of balls, I guess you could say, to speak out now. And
About time.
I know. And what's happening too is there's also alleged rumors going around that Justin may prorogue the Parliament, which is a fancy word of saying suspend Parliament, because he doesn't really want to deal with his own caucus. And this week, Jagmeet Singh has also now said that he's against carbon tax and everything now. But what's happening is on Monday, there's at least 2 or 3 by-elections going on, one in Montreal and I think a couple out west, which would also, Jagmeet Singh's NDP is in trouble because they may not get voted back in for seats, which will cause to be less members in the NDP federal NDP party. So, and also that a lot of people are saying that Liberals aren't going to win either, and it's going to be mostly the PCs, because more and more people are starting to support the Progressive Conservative Party in Canada here, which is sort of similar to in some ways as the Republican Party in the States. So, which it's starting to turn around, and like everyone says, all 3 parties, right now, Pierre Poilievre and the Progressive Conservative Party is the lesser of all the evils. They're all crooked, right? So, we'll see.
I don't understand that term, progressive conservative.
I don't know. Is that they thought it sounded good, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So, so we're going to see what happens with that. And also what's been happening is now that we're still getting a lot of Ukrainian, I guess, immigrants coming from Ukraine because of the war, supposedly. And there's so many coming in. Now they're starting to send them to different provinces. And a lot of the provinces are saying, we can't handle, with the population and the housing and everything, we can't handle any more immigrants. Like the Premier of Alberta, Daniel Smith, said that, we're not going to take them. Like, it's going to harm our infrastructure. But Trudeau's doing everything and anything to create problems for out west, Alberta, Saskatchewan, because all along they've been against everything that Trudeau's done, and they've been fighting back. So this is Trudeau's way of sort of getting back to them, I guess you could say. And also in the Atlantic provinces, they're starting to speak out more and more too. So you're starting to see more provinces and premiers of the different provinces. Premiers are like your version of like a governor
Mhm.
and that. So they're starting to speak out more and more now too. So it's going to be an interesting Monday, when Parliament comes back in to see what happens. And the talk is that they're going to try and push a vote as soon as possible for for Trudeau to have an election because of non-confidence vote again. So especially with the NDP now tearing up the cooperation and supporter supply agreement with the Liberals. But if you ask me, it's like, okay, a couple splitting up, X and X, but they're still friends with benefits, more or less, and that's
Oh my! It sounds like
yeah.
you're having all kinds of fun. Hey, I'll tell you what. We will trade you if you'd like. We will give you 25,000 Haitians for your Ukrainians.
No, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, and
Yeah, because I feel like I feel like the Ukrainians can be salvaged.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, and you speaking of the Haitians and that, I watched some of the debate, and I have never seen so quickly in my life how many people responded on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok with videos and that showing, that it's true what's happening in Springfield.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe how quickly that happened, and with videos of police dispatch talking about stopping vehicles, reporters, independents interviewing people. So yeah, it's happening here.
Did you want to get that recipe?
No, I'm okay.
Some
I'm
505 Southwestern red enchilada sauce and a good tortilla, and Kat makes a great burrito taco.
Yeah. We don't have any cats around here because the coyotes tend to get them, right?
Oh, okay. Well, here the coyotes are rushing people across the border to the United States.
Yeah, and I could not believe that was so one-sided, that debate.
Well, they're looking into it. It's a three. That was a 3-on-1. For one, the gal moderator was a sorority sister of Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And two, there's it's being reported from the inside at ABC, from the inside whistleblowers, that no, she wasn't. She was given the topics and sample questions ahead of time.
I heard that, and I even heard that these whistleblowers have even signed affidavits to say yes, it is true.
Well, they're calling for an internal investigation by an outside,
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see how that progresses and what happens.
Well, I even heard that the guy that was there introduced her husband and her, or whatever, something like that, or he's real good friends with Kamala too, right? So
I didn't hear that one, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It's pretty much a mess.
And like I said, it was so funny when I saw some people saying allegedly that the earrings that she were wearing are actual new kind of earbuds, but they also look like Tiffany earrings or something like that. So,
well, here's the thing. I don't believe that they are the ones that people are saying they are.
Yeah.
From that company, because they do not match that company's deal, except for two things. One, nothing says that company did not create a different look set for her
Yeah.
specifically. And also, they are not the only company out there. So it could have been a different company's set of earrings. So
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily mean it's not that company's, but I do believe that it is a product that does the exact same thing.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. But even watching the debate, I still say that Trump won that. Especially at the end there with the speech that he gave, he just lambasted her like left, right, and center. You know, it was like I said, it was one-sided, but Trump held his own. Yes, he did lose his temper, but my favorite part of the night was when she started talking or whatever, and he just turned to her and says, "Excuse me, I'm talking right now." The same thing that she did against Pence. You know, I love that.
Yep.
But yeah, like she, especially the first question that they asked her, and then you were talking about how all of a sudden she brings up about, you know, yards and everything. That didn't even answer the question that they asked.
That was weird.
Yeah.
No.
And like it's,
it had nothing to do with it at all.
No. And the thing is, though, is like how many times did you know, the moderators fact checked right after like Trump, and they didn't even fact check her at all with everything.
Not at all.
And that, you know, and so it's very interesting. And the thing that gets me is that I don't know how you guys feel about this, is how everyone says, oh, he's a felon. But in my eyes, you're not classified as a felon until you're sentenced.
I don't actually care.
Yeah, I don't either.
You can tell me he got a hold of Dick Durbin and ripped his head off in the middle of the White House lawn, and 5,000 people reposted it, and I'd be like, yeah.
But here's the thing, too. You're right. I agree with you. But here's the thing. On the flip side of that, what he's accused of, I don't care.
No.
He could have not paid his taxes. I don't care. I don't care if he jacked up the price of his property's values. I don't care.
No.
Don't care.
No.
Unless he's killing children or raping women, I don't care. The rest of it is just irrelevant. It matters nothing to me.
But here's
he said this in the locker room. Grab him by the whatever. I don't care.
No. And here's the thing, though, is that he proved in his, you know, first presidency, he does his darndest and he keeps his word.
Dude, he's one of the only presidents that actually damn near kept every single campaign promise that he made.
Yeah.
You know, and like they say, oh, you know, he never did anything. He did more than anyone even knows. There's a lot of things that he did that no one even knows about as president, you know, because, you know, in some ways, I wish that he would speak more about what he did in his presidency to, you know, show people. But
I don't care.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he flies under the radar. I like the fact that he does things in closed door sessions. I like the fact that he threatens
everybody.
An ISIS leader with a picture of his own house saying, you know, I'll kill you. I like that about him. I like that.
Exactly.
I'm hoping if he gets in as president that he'll keep that promise from the last time, and he'll go after that ISIS leader. You know, and that, you know. Oh, and speaking of ISIS leader, we had another guy in Montreal who apparently was an ISIS member that was apparently plotting an attack in New York City, doing like a mass shooting or something like that. You know, and if Trump was still in office, ISIS would be completely
eradicated.
You know, and that. But with the Biden administration and that, they just said, "Oh, you know, okay, like, you know, like Trump said at the debate, he would have cleared out all the equipment and everything if, you know, if he was still there and not leave billions of dollars of military equipment for terrorists and the Taliban and all that to
Oh,
take.
I love their I love their excuse. Well, it would have cost the American taxpayer so many billions of dollars to bring that stuff back.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
it's
it would cost
worth
more
it to
money.
not leave it for them to use.
Absolutely, because they'll probably.
You waste it on everything else, but
I wouldn't.
that you're not going to waste it on. Give me a break.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they sold some of it to China and even Russia and other Iran to reverse technology to try and build something better or whatever,
No doubt.
And but it's going to be very interesting. It's here and over there. And the other thing I wanted to ask you guys is Illinois. Are they open carry state?
No.
They are Canada.
They're one of those places, dude. You have to. Here's the thing: you can have a weapon in your vehicle, but here's the thing: the weapon has to be in one compartment, the bullets in another, secured.
Yeah.
And they cannot be in the magazine.
Yeah, I see.
It's
same as here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an asinine place that needs to just burn.
But I can see, though, is that if some of these Haitians or whatever tried to do that out in the rural area where the farms are, farmers won't give a damn. They'll shoot first and
that's what's interesting. If they were in, so the Haitians are all hanging out pretty hardcore in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah.
And Ohio is a pretty, you can carry lots of stuff in Ohio.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
That whole thing's weird.
I had to chuckle a bit. I saw one guy on YouTube or whatever, and he says, let me tell you something. If they ever tried to do that on my property, he says, I got a neighbor up the street who has a backhoe who just loves digging holes for no reason.
I saw that. It was hilarious. Phil, tell people how they can buy your super cool stuff, man.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook at Original Crowfeather Heel and Crystal Jewelry. I have videos and pictures on there. You can message me through Messenger on Facebook, and I'll get back to you. And you can also find me on Instagram at Chief Crowfeather. And you can also find the same videos and pictures on there. And you can find me down where you guys are at Country State Design and Common Ground.
Perfect. Phil Mellon, our Canadian correspondent from the Great White North, where it's probably about to snow. We appreciate you, buddy.
All right, take care. You all have a great week and a great day, eh?
See
Stay
ya.
grounded.
And I forgot to bring it up, but I believe, if I'm not incorrect, Phil, you can message me or on the video or whatever and tell me if I'm incorrect or not. But I believe tomorrow is actually Frosty's birthday. I believe tomorrow is Elizabeth's birthday, but I'm not really sure. So, always enjoy listening to him and having him call in.
Very fun times.
You know, and a lot of people don't get it, but it is relevant to hear from other countries what's going on, especially someplace like Canada, because Canada, our left and Canada's left work hand in hand.
Yeah.
So what's happening there will happen here, and what's happening here will happen there. So it's a very, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Anywho's what's it?
Yes, sir.
Get yourselves out and about today. Drive around. When you do, make sure you make your way over to Winfield. Stop in.
Yeah.
stop into Black Flag Outfitters. Come visit Dodd and see what he's got in stock. Shoot, get out and do some fishing. So come get you some bait. You got hooks and weights. You got stuff in there you need. Bow fishing stuff. Dynamite C4. No, I'm kidding. No, none of that. I'm just kidding. Don't dynamite fish in the river. At least don't get caught. But come by and see that. Have a cup of coffee next door and visit Dodd and see what he's got in stock. There's always something in there. Every time I walk in there, it's something new. There's always something I need. Can't afford it, but I need it. And,
Yeah, come see
and
me.
actually, the prices are really good. You're going to pay less for the most part than you are the big box stores. But even if it is a little bit more, can I please explain something to you from a customer standpoint and a customer service standpoint? Number one, you're not going to get the service at the box store that you're going to get at Black Flag Outfitters. If something happens to your gun, your weapon, you bring it into Black Flag Outfitters to get it worked on. The customer service is right there rather than going to the big box store where you're just not going to get that. It's not going to happen.
No.
Sorry. I have seen things happen. And I'm going to give away a trade secret, and I'm sorry, but this is what it is. I have seen some kind of a factory issue happen with a gun, and I've seen Dodd just go, here, let me just fix that. All you need is this little pin here, a new pin here. It's crap. Let me just put this in here for you. Boom. What I owe you? Nothing. Don't worry about it. I've seen that happen. Little things like that. He's not going to nickel and dime you to death is what I'm saying, guys. Service. It's all about the service at Black Flag Outfitters.
Come see me. You will have a great experience.
All right? How's that?
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah. And, of course, go see Original Crow Feather Crystal Healing Jewelry. Blue Line Lawn Care. Listen, I've been using Blue Line for quite a while now, and I've never, ever had one single complaint at all. They've been doing my lawn for quite a few years, for a few years now. I don't know. It's been 3 or 4, I guess. 636-262-9486. Blue Line Lawn Care and Landscaping. Not just your lawns. They'll build you a retaining wall. They'll put in flower beds for you, paver stones, whatever. I mean, if it has to do with your lawn or your yard, they'll take care of it. I guarantee you. Safe Harbor Insurance. Listen, Dave and Holly are just waiting to hear from you. They are not under some umbrella. They are they're a broker, and they will find you the best price that they possibly can. Even if you do have a policy now, take your current policy down to them. Let them take a look at it. Maybe they can beat the price. Maybe they can show you where you can save some money and go, why do you have this on your policy? You don't need this. What
True.
can it hurt? What's the worst that can happen? Can't help you. Sorry. Can't do better than that. That's the worst that can happen. At least go down there and see them. Tell them the boys over here at Morning Java sent you. Tell them that Traveling East Productions sent you their way. Go see Dave and Holly, 636-578-7426. They're in Winfield. Go see them.
Yes. Do that.
Tata.
Boom.
Mic drop. No, not really, but it is what it is. Anything have you already got in mind today? What's going to be the special? Oh, by the way, that's something else I wanted to bring up, and I didn't. Go to Facebook, find Black Flag Outfitters, follow them, and watch what happens. Because if you watch the page, he will post a picture. What you see in that picture is what's on sale that day. That's the deal of the day. Private message him.
Yep.
Go see him, whatever, and then he'll discuss it with you, but he won't do it on there because Facebook is stupid.
I think the deal of the day today, I think I'm going to do a bullpup shotgun and a 1911. Yep, that's what I'm feeling.
Oh, you're going to hit me with the bullpup.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm feeling.
That's a good plan, though. I mean, everybody needs a bullpup. That's the one thing I don't have that I want.
Yep, I got 3 of them in stock this week, so I think we'll put those up. It's dealer's choice. It's not even just one of them. Any one of them you want is going to be on sale.
I like it.
Yeah. And then I think we'll go with a compact 1911 because I have 3 of those to choose from.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
What do you have? Just for...
So I've got a Rock Island 45
Okay, can't go wrong.
in stainless, a Rock Island 9mm in stainless,
Okay.
and I have the Rock Island Carry 2, which is the tan 9mm custom.
So all Rock Islands.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll do that today. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I like Rock Island. I like Rock Island, and I like Sig. And I like Springfield.
You like everything.
And no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, when it comes to like a 1911, I like my Sig stuff, but I've got a 40 that's a Springfield that I really love. I love the XD series. I think the XD series guns are just fantastic from Springfield. They are. And that's another thing. If you are looking for something specific, go in there and at least find out what he can get it for. And not just that, but if you're looking for something out of the ordinary,
oh, yes.
that's the place to go.
Yes.
You started to say something,
Well, I have a Gen 5 Glock 17 I just got. I think we might run it for a late afternoon deal of the day.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I've seen some crazy stuff come through there.
Oh.
I mean, I picked up a crazy one.
Crazy is what I'm best at.
Yeah. The one I got was just insane.
Yes.
And I tried to fight every fiber of my being to walk out of that store without it, but the temptation was just too much.
It was too powerful.
Here's the thing. Remember when I said just a few minutes ago, if you're looking for something out of the ordinary, I got a 7.62 revolver. A 7.62 Nagant is what this thing shoots.
Yep.
Are you kidding me with this? How could I say no? How do you say no to that?
You don't. Yeah, that thing was cool.
That's what I mean by out of the ordinary, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This type of stuff can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. What do you think? You want to go to the gun shop?
Let's go to the gun shop.
Want to go to the gun shop? All right. Well, I tell you what, folks. It's been fantastic being here with you. We've had a wonderful time.
Yeah, we did.
And join us next week here on the Traveling East Productions Network. Every day, Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Well, 5:18, I think, is when they finally go on the air. But it's KYRO Newswatch Late Edition. Sometimes you see Dodd on there. Join us Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock for Not Politically Correct. And then, of course, every Saturday here at 9 a.m. for Morning Java. Tomorrow morning, join from the KYRO Gateway Fiber Studio broadcast here will be Uncensored Wrestling Talk with Sarge Phillips. So make sure that you tune in for that. Other than that, I'm CT. He is Dodd. Stay awake, not woke, and we'll see you next week.